Hey y'all, I'm Muriel, this nurse Muriel. Welcome back to my channel, to my oldies but goodies. Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome back. And to my new subscribers, hey, what's going on? I'm Nurse Muriel. I'm a registered nurse of 6 years. I'm a bachelor's prepared registered nurse. And prior to this, I was an LPN for 18 years and I was a CNA for about a year. I am 47 years old and I have been a nurse for, 24 years now. So, it's been a while, y'all, since I actually did a video. I've been doing lives, and some have been able to catch them, some haven't. But I'm trying to get on track for 2025, get these videos, because there's a lot going on in the world of nursing, and I'm here to talk about it. So if you watch my last live, you will see I touched on the nurse. They said she was a nurse. I don't know if she was a nurse. I kind of think she might have been a CNA, or depending on what type of home she worked in, she may not have been a CNA. She did have the stethoscope on, but we do know you can do manual blood pressures with a stethoscope. So she could have been a nurse. She could have been a tech. I don't know. But she recorded herself dancing on top of a resident's head. The person was disabled. I work with that population. And then that population, we call them consumers. I want to say consumers, just for the benefit of, I'm thinking that she worked within that type of population. She may have been home health. I'm not sure. But she filmed herself dancing on top of this consumer's head. And they said it was another video out there of her doing something inappropriate. I didn't see the other video, but I will say for that video that I did see, I was like so disgusted. I was like, what is going on with these healthcare workers lately? Like, they have no decorum, they have no professionalism. I don't understand. They say she has been charged, which I feel kind of bad because she's young. She's 19, and of all the mistakes to make, you make I believe that's a federal offense, like breaking a HIPAA violation. I believe that's a federal offense. And for all the violations to make at such a young age, you make one that could possibly end your career. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say, but I know when I went through orientation on my job, I do know that they drill into you in healthcare the 7 rights for a patient, and 7 and the different types of abuse. And what she did is a type of abuse and exploitation, for one. She exploited him, and especially if she got any type of revenue off of that video, like, it was exploitation. And she's been charged with some felonious charge. I don't know exactly what the charge was, and I feel bad for her at such a young age. You got that charge. And then I saw a video where they say it was supposedly her, where she was like, it wasn't even that serious. It was, girl, what is wrong? Like, not that serious. I know when I went through orientation with the job I am now, they beat into our heads that we are to call SLED for any type of abuse. We call SLED, which is a state investigative agency here in South Carolina. I don't know if it's called SLED everywhere in every state, but here in South Carolina, it's called SLED. I actually got a call the other day from investigators from my job because of an incident that occurred in my job where I wasn't aware that the consumer stated some type of abuse from one of the staff members, but I was acting nurse and supervisor that night, and they called me for to get a statement because they're doing an investigation on those allegations of abuse. I was not made aware of any allegations. When I spoke with the consumer, when whatever went down, the consumer not once mentioned about anybody abusing them at any point. And so let me tell you, they take allegations very serious. And I cannot see how she couldn't have known. And ignorance is not an excuse for breaking the law anyway. So her saying I didn't know, it wouldn't be an excuse, but there's no way she didn't know what she was doing was wrong. And then you see so many other people out here putting people, like healthcare workers, putting residents and stuff. I'll be wondering how they be getting away with putting these residents on, like filming them, putting them online. Like the case where the DON had a broom and was threatening a resident with the broom. I think she was actually swinging the broom at the resident. Now I'm gonna tell you, some of those a lot of those residents, due to their dementia, they are mean and they are combative. And I don't even want to say due to dementia, because some of them are just like that, regardless of dementia. But you cannot get physical with these residents. If you got to run down the whole hall and run away from them so that they don't get you, you have to run from them. You cannot initiate any type of altercation, physical altercation with these residents. And I was like, how did that, where did this even happen? But that you would sit there and threaten a resident with a broom. I was like, my goodness. And then she was the director of nursing at that facility. Now I know some facilities, director of nursing, if it's like if it's not a long-term care, if it's like an assisted living, the director of nursing can be an LPN. I don't know if she was an LPN or RN. I don't know. But I do know that she was dead wrong for threatening that resident with that broom. I have had a resident who tried to attack me before. I have had a resident, y'all know how hard those silent nights are, that pill crushes down the cart. I have had a resident pick that up, and baby, when she picked up that silent night, I took off running, because she threw that silent night. But I took off running out of, like, we were like in front of the nursing station. Baby, the way I ducked and went around that nursing station and got behind it and locked that door, and then I went in the bedroom and I called the doctor and I hurried up and we got that order for that Haldol. Because baby, let me tell you, I'm not getting hit by no silent night, because that resident will be able to remain at that facility. I would be out there with some type of disability or some type of leave because she injured me. But had I hit her, I would have been out of my means of living altogether, because even had it been in retaliation, I would have been fired. Had I hit that resident after she threw that silent night at me. She threw the silent night, and then she picked up the whole pitcher of water, and she threw that whole pitcher of water as well. What I did was I ran from her, but I ran and I took the cart along with me, so she couldn't get anything off the cart after she threw the silent night and she did the water. She grabbed the silent night and she threw it. She grabbed my water pitcher and she threw it, but I was dragging the cart with me to kind of shield myself away from her. And I dragged the cart in the nursing station and locked the door, so she couldn't get to us. So the only thing that she can damage outside of the nursing station is the TV or the furniture or something like that. It was nighttime, it was a night shift, so all the other residents were in bed. And let me tell you, if she want to tear up this TV, I don't care. If she want to tear up that furniture out there, I don't care. She's not gonna tear me up, okay? And I called the doctor. We got an order for Haldol, and we had to actually, I had to actually wait for 911 for the ambulance to get there for me to even be able to administer the Haldol to her, because we could not contain her. But the EMTs, they were able. Her whole point was she wanted to go to the hospital to get whatever medication they were going to give her to make her feel good. So when she got on that stretcher, I was able to administer the Haldol to her, and then she rolled on out, and that's how we dealt with that problem. You cannot get physical with these residents, honey. They will take your license, your livelihood. They will take everything from you. Even if you're being attacked, you cannot get physical with these. You cannot defend yourself in a physical manner. You can shield yourself, but you cannot retaliate. And my other option after that night, my other option was to quit altogether, because ain't nothing holding me in from quitting this job. I could have not shown up for another shift, because one thing you will learn about in nursing, you can walk out one job and walk into another one. It's been progressively getting more and more dangerous as the years go on, because I don't know, when 20 years ago, maybe I was young to it and social media wasn't as big as it is now. I don't know. I'm pretty sure nurses and, healthcare workers were getting attacked, but I didn't know of any situations where they were getting attacked. But as time, 23 years ago, I didn't know of any situations where they were getting attacked. Not saying they weren't, because I'm sure they probably were, but I just didn't know of it. But as time progresses, I can probably recite the past 5 years where patients or consumers or clients have attacked healthcare workers. I remember that story. I think there was where a home health agent went into a home to work with a client, and the person ended up beating her or raping her. Or it's just, y'all, it's terrible out here. I see why there are so many people leaving the bedside. And I saw a video where it was a reel on Facebook where the content creator was talking about nurses who are leaving the bedside to become NPs, FNPs, psych NPs, CRNAs, how they're leaving the bedside and how it's her turn now and she'll be leaving soon. And then I read the comments and so many people were saying about how they can't wait till it's their turn to leave. Some people were like, well, I didn't even go for an advanced degree. I just left nursing altogether, went to a different career. I'm like, there's really not going to be, nobody wants to work the bedside anymore. And I take my hats off to those who still work in bedside. I still work bedside. But I take my hats off to those nurses willing to stay and work bedside because it is rough out there. It really is. Aside from that, y'all, you know, I'm not one of these people to tell somebody not to become a nurse. I have made videos giving you other options in the healthcare field to where you will not have as much contact with patients, one-on-one contact with patients, but you can still make a good living. And I'll try to link that video somewhere here. I think I made that video like 3 years ago or so. I'll try to link that video. Something else I wanted to talk about is the fact that so many nurses are putting so much online. So let me ask y'all out there, when you signed on with your job, did you have to sign like a social media policy stating that you won't place anything in the within the facility, you won't put anything on social media, or you know, just a bunch of different social media policies? Because everywhere I've worked in like the last 10 years, I had to sign something stating that I will not basically film inside the facility, and I will not put anything pertaining to the facility on social media. Now y'all know I have done some recording like in the break room. I'm not gonna lie, I have done some recording in my break rooms. But as far as recording patients and recording my other co-workers, like, I don't do that because, for one, it's against HIPAA regulations to record patients. And with the co-workers, if my co-workers don't agree to do this, I'm not about to have them as a third party in my videos chilling in the background the whole time I'm sitting up here recording something to put on YouTube or Facebook or something, unbeknownst to my co-worker that their face and everything is about to be online. Like, I don't like that. Don't be recording me and then throwing it on your social media, on the internet somewhere. Don't do that. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care if I'm in a restaurant. Don't do that. Don't be recording me and then throwing me online for anything. That's how I feel. But I see a lot of nurses, they do that. They'll have like the other nurse in the background, and they don't even know they're being recorded, but like, you'll be talking about that nurse in your video, or like a voiceover, or have little words coming up, but you're talking about this nurse and you got this nurse online. I don't like that. I think that is so unprofessional. I don't know so I don't know when nurses became so unprofessional, when they started being so like on the job, just no decorum. Like, I don't know when this started, and I don't know why nurses that do it don't think don't think nothing of it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I saw a video where I'm gonna say there were nurses, I don't know, they could have worked in a doctor's office, they could have worked wherever, but the impression that they gave, a lot of people in the comments were assuming they were working in a hospital, because they were like, instead of tending to us, y'all back there making dance videos, where it was a group of nurses who had like gloves on their feet like they were shoes, and they were like doing little dances and stuff. I'm like, why would y'all put that online? You know what I'm saying? In your uniforms at your job. Why would you do that? Because they already got the impression, so many people hate nurses because they think we lazy, they think we don't care, they think, why would you go online? Why would you put that online on your job? I saw a video where there were two, I thought they were nursing students, I don't know. People so assume they were nurses. That's another thing. You can't help what people are going to assume. You can't help what people are going to assume when they watch your videos. But if I see you in scrubs with a stethoscope around your neck, with a name badge, and you can have your name badge turned around, but if you have somewhere in your caption stating you're a nurse or you're in nursing, then we're going to assume that you're a nurse, and then we see the behavior you're displaying online on the job. Now, I'm only talking about on the job. I'm not talking about off the job. You can do whatever you want to do when you're home, when you're out and about. Even when I was in the break room recording, I was just talking nursing. You know what I'm saying? Like giving little tidbits or little things about nursing. I wasn't catching everybody that was in the break room, because I would only record in the break room if I was by myself, for one. And I wasn't, and I would record outside in my car. I might be too judgy. I might be too picky. It is what it is. This is just my opinion. Y'all saw how we had one of those nurses that made that ick video a few years ago that was saying their ick when it came to like labor and delivery. I mean, and people were iffy about that, whether they thought that was right or whether they thought that was wrong. I just felt like they should have not done it on the job. Like, I didn't see nothing wrong with the scenarios that they gave, but I just felt like they shouldn't have done it on the job. That's how I feel. But outside of that, y'all, everything else is pretty good. They have me, I did hit on this earlier, they've been having me supervise like at least once a week on my job. Though they brought me in, which they said all the RNs, they like to train them, supervise in case they need them. And for the past 3 or 4 Mondays, I've been supervising. And y'all, I really don't like supervising, especially on night shift, because you have to go in and out, and it's cold. And I just don't like I like to be in a building, and put me in that building, let me stay in that building. Even if you switch me from day to day in a different building, at least I stay in that one building the entire shift. I don't like going in this building because this occurred, coming back and having to go in this building if this occurred. Like, I don't like doing that. And then all the responsibility falls on you because you're the supervisor. And just like I said, with that incident, I had to do a statement for that consumer who claimed abuse. I don't know anything about that consumer. All I can go off of is what happened while I was there. But I have no familiarity with that consumer at all. I have no familiarity with the workers in that building. I don't like it, but what made it a little easier, not even easier, because it's not hard, I just don't like doing it, but what made it a little more bearable for me is the differential you get when you supervise. So I was like, okay, that makes it a little, okay, maybe I can do, but it's not something that I would want to do on a weekly basis. Y'all know I work for the state. And so I was talking to my supervisor because, well, I say my supervisor, but we're actually kind of on the same level, because the job that she does on day shift, the supervising, is what they've been pulling me in to do on night shift once a week. We have the same licensure. We're like on the same level as far as education wise. We just do different jobs normally, because I normally work in one lodge and I'm pushing a cart, and she's normally supervising. But every now and then, like I said, they put me in the supervisor. But what is this with double dipping when you work for the state that they don't allow? I didn't understand what they meant by you're not allowed to double dip, because I'm like, if you're working for the hours and they're paying you for it, how are you double dipping? I didn't understand what they meant by double dipping. If you work for the state, let me know what they mean by double dipping. Because I was talking to her and I was telling her, you know, on the weekends I am in another part of South Carolina, and they have that agency that I work for. That agency is here in this part of South Carolina as well. And I was thinking, well, since I'm here, and really I don't do much when I come here, I have a lot of like free time, I could pick up like a shift once a weekend while I'm down here, just for some extra pay or whatever. And she was like, she don't know if that's possible because the state doesn't allow you to double dip. So y'all, let me know what double dipping means. Like, what, I know what it means, but let me know, what are we double dipping in if you work 2 state jobs? From what I'm told, you are not allowed to work 2 state jobs. So, but yeah, this was a quick little video, y'all. Y'all know how I used to say about my videos. I feel like I was saying the same thing over and over, but yeah, I guess it needs to be said. What I decided to do is I decided that because I feel like I don't really be having content like to give. So what I decided is I'm gonna, I watch a lot of nursing reels, a lot of nursing like content down Facebook or whatever, and I notice when I go in the comment sections, a lot of people are really confused when it comes to nursing. Like, a lot of people are confused on a lot of things, and I'll be reading it and I'll be like, dang, people don't, how do they not know this? And it be nurses that be saying stuff that be like, I was like, how do people not know this? Like, one comment on somebody's reel, the person was saying they're LPN now, they're going to school to get their RN just to work in their same job that they're working now. And someone was like, why would you continue to work that job? You won't be recognized as an RN. You won't be a practicing RN. And I was like, how? If you're an RN and you're working, you're a practicing RN if you're working under your RN license. Now, if you're an RN and you go work at Starbucks, or if you're an RN and you go work at Target, of course you're not working under your RN license. But if you're an RN and you're working in healthcare and they hire you as an RN, you're working under your RN license. I didn't get it. I think they were misunderstanding the point she was making, which I took it as she's going to school. She's going to make more money automatically because she advanced her career, but she wants to stay in her same role because she's familiar with the job and she likes where she works. But it was so many different comments in the comment section. I was like, what is it that people are not getting? And then some of them were nurses. I was so confused. Like, how do people not know this? And it was trying to make it seem like if you're an RN in long-term care, you are not an RN. Like, you are not working. You're not working with your life. Like, you're not doing what you're supposed to do as an RN. And I was so confused because I was like, I don't know why nurses in long-term care get such a bad rep. Like, they're not really nurses, or they're not, because they're not hospital nurses, they're not really nurses. But y'all don't give the same bad rep to nurses who work in hospitals or clinics or with insurance companies or telehealth nurses or home health nurses who don't work in hospitals. Like, you never hear anybody disparage those nurses, but it's always nurses that are in the hospital working in long-term care or working as an LPN or RN. It's always those nurses who y'all disparage against them like they're not real nurses. And I don't understand. I don't understand. So anyway, we might delve a little deeper into that on the next video, but I just wanted to make this video, y'all, because I'm going to try to come to y'all weekly, and I'm probably going to jump off here and jump on live to talk to y'all a little bit. Hopefully I don't be redundant and say the same things I just said in this video. But yeah, so anyway, like I said, I just want to come on here, do a little 1-2, talk to y'all for a little bit. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.